Hello, fratres and sorors. Nice to see you. Well, as you can see, I am here today with Frater Lonnie Edwards, MD. Frater Lonnie is the Vice President of the Board of Directors of the English Grand Lodge for the Americas. He is a retired surgeon. He is the author of the book and video series, Spiritual Laws That Govern Humanity and the Universe. He has served the order in many different capacities. Frater Lonnie's been a member for over 65 years, and today we're going to have a live conversation with him. So welcome everyone, and Frater Lonnie, thank you so much for participating in this live conversation.
Thank you very much for inviting me, very, very much.
Well,
it's always a thrill to talk with members of the order.
Okay, so I have a few questions for you. A member wrote to our Department of Instruction and asked, how does one listen to their heart or to the God of their heart?
First of all, one must understand to some degree, God. What is God? What type of energy does God radiate? And how do we connect to that energy to become one with it? So it's very important for us to know that there is an eternal being guiding and governing us and teaching us or learning us how to relate to it. What does it mean to us as far as our lives are concerned?
Okay. You've accomplished a lot in your life. Do you set goals and take particular steps toward meeting those goals, or do you respond to whatever arises?
Yeah, I do set goals, but they are related to what I feel is a part of my spiritual being. I must work on that element or that section of my being to increase it, to expand it. So the work is really a part of that which is within me, that the divine energy, which still circulates around, through, and from me. Yes.
Thank you. What is something that you've accomplished that you thought was impossible?
Oh, there are so many things, but in that spirit of knowing that there is a possibility is part of that which the order teaches you. It teaches you the goals and the work of the internal mechanism in everybody. That is how to increase who you are, learn who I am, and may I expand who I am. I must learn how to love myself. I must learn how to love others around me, and I must ask for an expansion of love so that it becomes increasingly like that of the God itself.
Thank you. How do you handle challenges?
that is a that is a very uh, profound question, and it demands one to go deep within themselves to deal with challenges. First of all, you got to know what challenges are and where or what is the result of what you have challenged. You must have an idea that that which has given to you by the divine sensitivity itself is a challenge. What you are taught as a challenge is indeed the first step in seeking a correction or a satisfaction of challenges. That there is a supreme being that governs you, your entity, your spiritual, or just your mental self. Now you have to work with that, work with the challenges that apparently the God itself has outlined for you, outlined for you to work on, to increase, to become more and more a part of what he or she is. That is a challenge that originates within you. I have to work on this. I have to work on that which I know need improving, need expansion, and need my deep understanding of who I am and the various aspects of that.
Thank you. A lot of people are feeling stressed with a lot of things that they're dealing with. What recommendations do you have to help people feel less stressed?
I think we must first decide what we want to focus on, what we want to expand our understanding on, how we want to know more about this divine earth and the divine heaven. What is it? How can I learn more of it? How can I become one with it? I want to be one with that which created heaven and that which created earth. And we can be that one if we take time and in silence ask for understanding of what my role is as a human being with a spiritual intention. If I am able to touch the very essence of the very source of what it is that we seek in terms of knowledge, in terms of understanding, in terms of expansion, in terms of connection to other people, to other conditions, then we are on the way to understanding the divine essence of that which stirs within us, that which encourages us to move forward, and that which has within itself a goal, a purpose, and we seek to understand the purpose, seek to understand it, and ask for understanding. If we don't ask for understanding, we do not get it. And that asking is always an internal asking, always an internal asking. Give me more light. I need your light, oh God. We all need your light. Give us more light. And as you petition for this light in prayer or whatever, you will begin to receive more light, to understand what light truly is. And by understanding what light truly is, you yourself become lighted, a lighted being.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
How can we develop a relationship with someone who sees things very differently than we do?
Yes, that is very important to a person who is seeking to expand him or herself, seeking to understand not only what is the very purpose of being, of spiritual being, what is the very purpose of life itself. If we understand and not just understand it, but inquire about it, seek to understand it, seek to have it given to you, an understanding of people, of conditions, and see them as God sees them. You must understand that we are in a process of expanding not only our physical self, but understanding that which is within us, that divine spiritual energy which is within us and remains in us, and ever growing as we deal with it, as we question it, and as we seek the understanding of the source of all that is.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
In your book, Spiritual Laws That Govern Humanity and the Universe, there's a chapter called Creating and Maintaining Spiritual Stamina. Would you say a little bit about spiritual stamina?
Spiritual stamina is so important in the process of expanding your connection with God, your connection with eternity, your connection with the universe. It's very important to expand your bit as a human being to that which is a part of you as a spiritual being. Continue to expand on it. And as you continue to expand on it and accept the challenge of expanding on it. For instance, how do I expand my capacity to love? How do I know what love is about? That is developing strength and stamina, not just intellectually, but by internally using the energy and that part of you which is truth, which is a part of the universe itself, which is part of God itself. Using that as a goal to which you can expand and become more and more a part of the source of God, source of life, source of love. What is love? What is it? What value is it? When you began to question those things and then asking in the questioning, asking for understanding, that's you are asking for the very source of life itself. You're asking for the very source of expansion into the universe itself. So asking and expecting an answer from the source within you, that life that was given to you, expanding to understand what it is all about. How do I work on it? How do I increase it? How do I understand others who may act different than I act, but may be of the same source? We must know that we are only part of that source, which is all that there is.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
In your book, you also address how we can develop our psychic nature, our psychic faculties. Would you say a little bit about that?
Developing one's psychic factor is not the primary effort. The primary purpose of trying to develop one's psychic purpose is to begin to understand who I am. What am I about? I am living for what? What am I living for? What am I developing into? What is my source for understanding what life is all about? What is my source of understanding what people are all about, what my friends are all about, what my enemies are all about? Understanding how to work with those things, how to work with them in terms of understanding them and expanding them. That expansion must become a part of those you associate with, must become a part of the very life that lives you. That life that lives you is the source from which life started and which it grows and expands.
Thank you. You've served the order in so many ways. You were the master of Nefertiti Lodge, you were regional monitor, grand counselor. You have served on the board of directors for many years. You wrote this book, The Spiritual Laws That Govern Humanity and the Universe, and created a whole video series. You've spoken at many conventions and conferences. What motivates you to dedicate so much of your beautiful energy and time to the Rosicrucian Order?
Well, I feel that the time that I, if I may say this, devote to the Rosicrucian Order is a time that the Rosicrucian Order devote to me. The Rosicrucian Order spend a lot of energy, a lot of known and unknown moves to understand who I am and to understand this beautiful order, Rosicrucian Order. So I'm terminally involved in understanding and going closer and closer to this divine spiritual essence, learning all about it, that which is spoken and that which is not spoken. And in many instances, I am learning by being silent and listening. It has a voice. It has a voice. By being silent and listening to that which you hear, that which is sounding and understanding, it is a special sound stimulating from your divine energy that was given to you at birth and allowed you to descend to earth to increase your understanding and to increase your ability to deal with problems, goodness, love, and constantly ask the source, which is always within you. The source gives me understanding of the very source of life, that energy which involves life itself, love itself, and help me to create that which is within me to serve others as well as myself.
Thank you. Are there any books or authors who have especially inspired you?
Well, I think there are books and articles that have inspired me without announcing the fact that it has inspired me, because that which inspires me really originates from that which is within me. If I read something, it is telling me something, it is giving me understanding. That is important, because that is the way you learn, by having an interest in understanding that divine self within you, that invisible self. Learning to listen to it in silence and security, you will learn to listen to that which is soundless and that which is a part of the very essence of who you are. Listening in silence, it is talking. It is talking to you. Listen for it. Hear it. What is it saying? What am I learning? In silence, listen. It's a reality. It's the very essence of God itself.
Thank you. Do you have a predominant stream of thought?
I think that dominant stream of thought is a part of the energy that you have given or you have created for yourself. You have dealt with questions as simple as, what is life? What is my life? What is the relationship I have to other lives? I must deal with that according to what my internal energy, my internal intelligence has teased me to be concerned with. Not just gossip, but be concerned with that which is within me that I'm still in the process of trying to learn. And I know where the source is. The source is within me, is within the God of my heart. And as I'm in silence and listen to that voice, listen to that sound, that increases my ability to understand and to service all people, and to know that that, for instance, that God loves all his children, and we are all children of God.
Thank you. You've mentioned that you have morning practices. Would you share a little bit about what you do to prepare for the day?
Yes, because it is so important in living and understanding what is the life which moves in, through, and about me. The first thing is to recognize the day that's so important. I recognize and appreciate the divine day, every day that is important. And I try to understand and vision everything that it has created. Understand everything that I'm able to see by looking at the beauty of the day. I am understanding how infinite this understanding can be. And I can see through the physical aspect of the day. I can see through the immaturity of seeing. I see the life in all aspects as I reach out and with my eyes and apparently understand behind this beautiful earth, this created by the Creator, is a living life. And I ponder on that and expand that, because that is that which I am giving praise for. I see not only that which is physical, as I look out, I also see and feel that which is behind the physical, that there is life, and that life is given to me to enjoy and to see. And my life is given to me in order to respect others, to have respect for others in terms of seeing and feeling and understanding who they are, and know that their source is the same as my source. And I began to see with my inner eye the beauty which God has made, not only in the skies, but in that which is physical. That which is physical, I know, was created by the internal power of God. And I appreciate that. And I give thanks for that I'm able to, with my physical eyes, to see the beauty which surrounds me. And with my physical eyes, I move into my spiritual being, my spiritual eyes, and I can feel the energy in the flowers. I can feel the energy in the air. I can feel the energy in the trees and flowers as they expand and contract, and as they change from life form to increased life forms. All of that is a part of that which I give thanks for. All of that is what I live with. All of that is what I give thanks and praise for. That is that which is created for my pleasure, for my understanding. And the more I concentrate on that, understand what a beautiful gift it is to be able to see and to feel this energy flowing through all that is, through all the plants, the animals, the human being. All of that is a part of that divine thing that I'm thankful for. And as I look out and see the beauty within me, many times I pass the physical beauty and see the inner beauty. And that always stimulates me.
When you describe seeing and experiencing the flow, are you seeing the energy itself? Are you experiencing it in your heart? How do you experience that flow and that connection that you're describing?
First of all, you have a beginning, and that within you is this unknown source of spiritual energy created by God, surround everything there is, and understanding that this understanding of all that there is really your attempt to really understand God and its creation. You understand that I must seek silently and honestly to understand that which is surrounding me, that which is obvious a part of my life. I know it's a part of my life, but I don't understand it. It is my life. It is part of God's life. God and I are one, and I must seek to understand that. God and I are one. And by knowing that and focusing on that, and just in silence, seeking to understand and know that all is a part of this wonderful, wonderful creative energy of God.
Thank you. I know that you send a lot of thoughts of support to others and to humanity as a whole. Are you doing this at a vibrational level, as a visualization? You've mentioned about going into silence. Is it getting beyond all that? How are you sending those thoughts? How are you sending that support and love into the world?
First of all, know that you are a part of that which was created in heaven and that which was created on earth. They are one. They're not separate. They are God's world. the beauty of the heaven and the beauty of the earth is all of God's world. We must never forget that both are creators of God. The earth in its beauty and the heavens in its beauty, they are one. And when you sit in silence and think about that and see if you can feel it, see if you can feel it, see if you can listen to it, and see how beautiful it is and how gracious the Creator is, and allowing us to see its beauty, allowing us to see the life that flows in and through it. And in silence, be still and listen. It is there. That essence is around you right now. That essence is part of you and given to you to enjoy and given to you to connect to the eternal source itself.
In our board meetings, sometimes you'll bring up the importance of approaching whatever challenges or projects we may be working on from a spiritual level. How do you approach that? How do you see that approaching maybe some practical things that we deal with from a spiritual level?
Whatever. Well, first of all, let me say very, very, very clearly, all that you do has a spiritual connection. All that you do has a spiritual intention. All that you do has a spiritual expression and expansion. Depend upon your imagine that you are a part of that which was created, and that you are able to be still and silent and receive this unknown energy, divine energy, until you realize that it is real, that this divine energy that I'm being still and silent and listening to, I'm listening to that which is that which is not physically available to you, but that which is spiritually available to you. And I listen in silence. And the silence really connects you. If you're tuned to you tune to that which is silent, you are going to hear things that are not human, in the sense that it is all that there is. No. If you listen in silence, you are listening to that which is invisible, that which is spiritual. And it's a wonderful experience to listen in silence. Hear it, that no one else can hear but you.
Thank you. You know, in the Rosicrucian teachings, we differentiate between actuality, which is that source, that origin that you're talking about, and then reality, is how it manifests in the world around us. So what I hear you saying is that through going within, through the silence, we have the opportunity to tap into the source, into the actuality.
Yes, very, very much. That is the source. Until you are silent and listening to it, listening to that which is real to you, listening to that which you're able to hear, you're able to feel, you're able to understand. All of this is available to you simply by being silent and still and listening. How powerful these are. Being silent and listening to that which you can't hear with your ordinary ears. You can't see with your ordinary eyes. But you feel it, you see it, you see through the physical aspect of that which is around you. You see through it. It disappears, and you see that which lies behind it, and that which is real, that which is of God. That's what you see for. And as you become silent, you become more and more of this. You become it. As you relax and listen, you are listening to that which many do not hear, many do not see.
Do you use specific techniques? I've seen you in conversation or in our meetings where you're very quiet, and then you'll share something that sees from a much higher level. You'll share something that's from a perspective that we may not have been considering before. So are you using a technique, or is it just many years of doing that?
Yes, because when you do that, when you are attempting to become a listener to that which is invisible, and to feel that which is unfeelable only through the eternal aspect of life and source itself. You began to see and feel the source that you're aiming for. You're aiming to understand the source. You understand the source when you want to understand the source by being silent and listening. You are receiving, whether you are conscious of that at this stage or not. You will become conscious of it. You will become conscious of it.
So it's not so much thinking. Yeah,
No.
you've said the word listening a number of times. It's that you've expanded your hearing.
Absolutely. Yeah. You are expanding your ability to hear through that which is physical, through that which comes through your physical brain. No. When you are seeking to understand, you are seeking to understand the silence, and the listening to the source. That source is what you listen for. What is it trying to say? What is it saying? And it will continue to speak to you and speak to you in a language where you will understand. You will hear some members say, "Oh, I wasn't aware of this until I learned to listen." Not to that which is buzzing around you physically. No, listen to that which is within me, which is me. I listen to it. It's there. It's real. And I listen to it. I listen to it. I listen to it. And it grows louder and louder and louder until that is the only place you have peace, by listening to and expanding your ability to hear, to see, and to feel. All of this is yours if you do practice silence and stillness. You are still. I'm not talking about physical stillness. I'm talking about that stillness which is silent, which is silent. And the beauty you see in you can see in the flowers, the seeds, the air. All of it you can see and feel. You are in a different world altogether. Altogether, your world is beyond the physical, because you can see, you have asked for it, and it's been given to you to see that which is silent, that which is still. And you began to feel it. You began to feel that which is silent and still. And it becomes increasingly real to you. Real, real, real. How wonderful. What a gift, what a gift, what a gift. Okay.
And for someone who's just developing that ability, that vision, what is the first step?
First of all, you're not developing that vision. What is the word? You're not developing it. You are one with it. You know you and it is one. Just like you know that you and the Creator are one. Have you ever stopped to think, I want to feel the Creator working. I want to feel the Creator expressing itself through the trees. I can't see it with the physical eye, but I can sense it, see how beautiful it is. But it's all feeling of the spiritual self, the silent self, the self that is hidden from you, who refuse to be silent and listening. Refusing to be silent and listening means you don't believe it. You don't believe it. but to be silent and know that it surrounds you, is you. Know it. And you're just silent, you're open, and you're listening. How beautiful. How beautiful. At the same time, you are opening yourself to see what beauty is within you. What beauty. Oh, how beautiful. How beautiful. And you express that beauty to other beings, sending that beauty in love, in light, in life, in love. It all manifests in those light, love, life. Oh, accumulate, if you want to say. Express itself in those words, in those sounds that turn into that which you hear, that which you see, and that which you listen to. It's a whole new world, a beautiful world, a beautiful world. Simply learning to be still and listening. Listening to what? Listen to that which you cannot see unless you call upon your silent ability to see. Desire your ability to hear. Desire your ability to feel. What beauty. What beauty is yours. You should practice seeing through that which is physical, but whatever it is, seeing through it until you have sensed that which is invisible, that which is still. It's there, it is there. Seek it, call for it in silence. Call for the love that you have in silence. Yes. That is true, true divine. That which is true, true divine. That which is always available to you, just to listen, and be silent, knowing that it is there, waiting for you to know, waiting for you to see it, waiting for you to feel it, to hear it. Know that it is there, and I'll be silent until I hear it. Now be still. Yes, you are approaching God. You are one with God, always has been. Always has been, always will be, as long as you reach in silence and in stillness, knowing that this is the presence for me, has a beauty which is beyond all other beauty. You can reach out. You can reach out in this silence and ask that it become one with all that you know, all beings that you know. It is one with all beings. It is the source. It is a part of the source. That's one loving source that you can enter into it by simply being silent and listen. Being silent and listen. You grow in that ability to see, to feel, to hear. Be silent. Be still. And share the silence. Try sharing the silence. Share it. A wonderful thing can happen. Sharing the silence. You expand. Oh, my dear, you expand by sharing the silence, one with another. Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Frater Lonnie, thank you so much for spending this time with us.